I got the spinny wheel thing. I guess this is live, and I'm doing this a little early. I got this scheduled to go on in like a minute. So if you're here, I'm glad to see you. I'm glad you're here. You can go ahead and use the chat. I should be able to see you in the chat. Yep, I'm live. Does it sound okay? Is it? I mean, there's really not much I can do about it besides move the mic further away, I guess. But what I'll do is I'll cut off the beginning of this video when I save the thing. So this is kind of like a little pre-show thing. I mean, we won't put this on the recording of it. Yeah, shh. I don't want to hear it. Put it out. All right. So if you haven't, it'd be cool if you hit the like button. And I kind of like this live streaming thing. It's kind of fun. It's a lot easier than producing a video, and sometimes you can just kind of get stuff out, Okay, I'm going to do a little pause here. This is where I'm going to cut the video, and then we'll go ahead and start the stream. So, all right, everybody just watched the Super Bowl, or not. Truth be told, I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I watched the first part so I could see the commercials, and then I watched the Weeknd's halftime performance after he had done it because I got tied up doing something else. I was talking to my mom on the phone, really wasn't paying attention. So I went back and watched it. And there was a lot of speculation before they even did this. When they announced it, it's like, how's this going to be? It's going to be different. We're not sure, if this is the right artist for this type of thing. We're not sure what it's going to look like. I watched it and I enjoyed it. Now, I want to just clarify something here. From an artistic perspective, I thought it was pretty neat. The way he came in on the intro with, kind of the Vegas looking thing in the car. And then there were those ghosty looking choir figures that kind of reminded me of the guy in the tuxedo in the Zany Zappers in the Blondie's Rapture video. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, you're probably young. That was a big thing. But there was a choir of those guys, kind of spooky. There was all kinds of weird stuff. The little room of mirrors he was going through, the people with the masks on that they're saying look like it was from some kind of, I guess it's a Peel movie or something. Did like 3 songs that we all know. Did Starboy, which I didn't really jump on really heavy when it came out. It was okay, but it wasn't rocking my world. I Can't Feel My Face came out. It was okay. But I really started getting more excited about Weeknd when Blinding Lights came out. I thought that was a really good song. A lot of people compare it to like Aha's Take on Me. And I did a video on this that no one watched where I said, I actually think that Blinding Lights is a better song than Take on Me. Although they're very similar, I prefer it because I never really liked Take on Me, but I like Blinding Lights. It was an unusual performance. I don't know if he was lip syncing. He probably was. They did that for years on programs like, I don't know, Soul Train and American Bandstand, and nobody lost their damn minds. But yeah, I thought it was kind of neat from an artistic perspective. And then I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I better look on Facebook to see how many people are losing their minds over this. And sure enough, people were. Boring, bad audio, bad production, waste of time, wrong artist. Back in my day, we had the Stones. It goes on and on and on like that. And before I go any further with my little rant here, I'll go ahead and glance into the chat here. Somebody just is joining us. Brian K says, I enjoyed the performance. My only complaint was his version of Starboy. I didn't realize it was a song till the chorus. Yeah, it was different. Let's see. Why did they get a no name to do the halftime show? Weekend is not a no name. Weekend had a single on the charts, Blinding Lights. It's still on the charts. It's been on the charts for over a year, like in the top 10. He is not a nobody. He's a somebody. Whoever is running sound needs to get monitors or headphones, dude. Those mics are way off until the hills. What the? I really think it was socially responsible to not have any other artists. Back in my day, we had Michael Jackson. Enough said. Okay, so let's talk. I go into Facebook to see what people are saying about this. And sure enough, there are complaints just like we're seeing here. Well, back in my day, we had the Stones. The audio was bad. Didn't understand the mics. Don't know who the artist is. Isn't up to par with the other performances that we've seen in the past. And let me just say this. First of all, again, I enjoy the show from an artistic perspective. Would I have paid money to see this? Probably not. Was it my favorite halftime performance I've ever seen? Absolutely not. No, in no way, shape, or form was it that. But I'm not angry at it. I'm not mad at it. I'm not nitpicking it. I'm not looking for flaws in it. It was fine. It was fun to watch. It was interesting. There was a time in my lifetime, and I'm almost 50 years old, by the way, where whenever we were talking about a musical act of some kind, there was live performances with musicians with guitars and bass and drums and horn sections and keyboards and all kinds of stuff. Today, everybody's doing everything on their MacBook Pro. That's the kind of artist Weeknd is. Weeknd is not this artist who has this big band backing him. He's a different kind of artist. Does Weeknd have the best voice ever in pop music? No, I don't think he does. And really, like I had said earlier, I wasn't really hot on any of his stuff until Blinding Lights. I thought that was a fantastic song. And really, I feel robbed, because 2020, I was hardly ever out gigging and didn't really get much of an opportunity at all to play the song. I think it's a great song. And I think if I were playing to, dance floors again, it would be a big hit because it has been a big hit. If you don't know who Weeknd is, you're just not up on things. Weeknd's been around for quite a while. I was playing Starboy years ago at gigs. It was a heavily requested song at many of my gigs that I was doing, including, some of the, I was doing company parties. Some of the people who were company owners or presidents of the company loved the song Starboy. In fact, they'd ask for the unedited version of it. He's not a new artist. So I think we have to look at this with some perspective. First of all, pandemic. Okay, so a little limited on what we can actually do here. That's one thing. The other thing is, again, this is not a band. This is not somebody who travels with musicians. This is not somebody who, to my knowledge, plays anything. I mean, aside from maybe a keyboard when they're putting together stuff, when they're working out tracks at home in their studio. That's the type of artist Weeknd is. And a lot of artists are like that today. There aren't many artists out there where you have a full band. Do I miss it? Yeah, because I really enjoyed it. I came up with Prince and, a lot of cool rock and roll acts in the 70s and 80s, even the 90s. There were even some of the 2000s I really liked where you actually had a band. You had a group of people big on even pop acts like Duran Duran, big on rock and roll acts like, I don't know, loved Motley Crue, loved every incarnation of Ozzy Osbourne he put together with his band Metallica, Kiss, loved Chic, Nile Rodgers, fantastic performer. But that's just not where we are today. That's just not how we don't have bands anymore like that. If we do, it's 3-chord guitar rock, and it's really not that interesting. We have people making music on computers, and that's who Weeknd is, and that's what Weeknd did. And so Weeknd did an artistic interpretation of his music with the situation that we have here with the pandemic at a halftime show. I was fine with it. It wasn't my favorite, but again, I was not angry at it. It didn't piss me off because the Rolling Stones weren't up there, who, by the way, are like 1,000 years old now. I wouldn't have a problem if the Rolling Stones were up there, but It's nice to see something else once in a while. Last year, it was J-Lo and Shakira. And that was a big deal in my house because, two Latin women were up there, Latino women doing their thing at the Super Bowl, doing it their way, kind of showing their culture. And Blanca, I mean, that was huge. Blanca wasn't interested in watching the Super Bowl. She loves football, but she wasn't interested in any of the teams that were playing. But because J-Lo and Shakira were there, she wanted to see it. And I mean, there were tears in her eyes. It was beautiful. And people hated on it. Why? Because of whatever nitpicky reason they could find to not like it. They would find a reason not to like it. It was an audio problem, or it was too sexual, or it was, I don't know what. I mean, by the way, if that was too sexual for you, you'd lose your damn mind in any Latin club in the world, because that's just Latin culture. It's not dirty. It's just sexy. But that's another topic for another day. I don't know. From an artistic point of view, again, I had no problem with it. But I know some people did, and I definitely did not get angry at it. That's the thing that I think I'm finding odd. People are actually angry with the performance and making it a point to express their anger with this performance. I don't understand that. Didn't cost you a dime, Come on. So let's go to the chat. Would love to see Foo Fighters perform. I was thinking about Foo Fighters too. And yeah, I think that would be a pretty good choice. But if you really look at the Foo Fighters, I think they've been around for over 25 years now. Is that right? Somebody in there can check my math. It's been about that. Maybe 24, 23, 24 years. This is not a new act. Yes, Dave Grohl is a really cool guy, and Foo Fighters are still incredibly relevant. But yeah, this is not a new act. It was cool to get some new blood in there, Let's see, what else do we got? The meme going around Twitter is hilarious, though. I enjoyed the performance overall. Foo Fighters also have the type of songs that would go well with Super Bowl. And I'm with you on that. I was thinking about that too. I was thinking, gee, who could you get up there who's relevant and not 1,000 years old? Well, the Foo Fighters. Well, Dave Grohl is older than I am, and I'm almost 50. Music is supposed to be a younger sport than that, I think, in general. And so it's nice to get somebody up there, who has had a hit, this decade and is relevant right now. It was nice to get them up there. See, what else do we got? Let's see. People are just angry in general. And I think they are. I think people are angry in general. They're looking for things to complain about. I'm not that guy. I'm looking for things to spark creativity. I'm looking for things that are I love art. Okay, so I was really enjoying looking at, and I mentioned this in a live stream the other day, looking at the construction going on in Las Vegas right now. Some of that stuff is absolutely amazing. It's awe-inspiring, and I can't wait to get back to Vegas when it's safe to see this stuff. I like that a lot. That I dig art. And I forget how much I really dig art until I see it. And then it's like, oh yeah, this is what I'm into. I'm not into everything just kind of being, basic and conformed. And I like things that are a little weird and different and push boundaries. Even if they're not my favorite thing, I still appreciate them if they're a little different. And that's really what I liked about this performance and what I can say about it. Again, it wasn't my favorite. In your opinion, what will be going on back to any type of normal in 2021? That's speculation, Eric. I don't know, but I'm hopeful. Let's see. I'm going to go back here and look at some of the questions, because I do want to address some people in the chat before we end the stream. Let's see here. I've seen that one. I'm looking down here. That performance was great. Don't hate. It's Party Springs TV. Michael Jackson one was better. 1993 Super Bowl. It's interesting that you say that, Gamer, because I was just thinking about that. And what made me think about it was I saw a video for Bobby Brown's Every Little Step, which is off the Don't Be Cruel album, which was fine. But I really didn't get too excited about Bobby Brown and his Don't Be Cruel phase. But looking back on it, the guy could dance, he could sing, he could rap. The songs were very catchy. The problem was there was a lot of shadow being cast by people like Prince and Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson and Madonna and even Paula Abdul and his future wife, Whitney Houston. So there was a very high bar, right? If Bobby Brown would come out today with the dance moves he had or the energy he had, singing and rapping and dancing and all that presentation, I think he'd be number one right now. It would be just amazing. But there was just so much going on at the time that he was overshadowed by this stuff. So I can't compare new artists to the fantastic artists that we had back in the 80s and the 90s, for instance, or the 70s even. We were lucky to see it. We were lucky to be alive to experience this amazing stuff from these talented individuals who will never be topped. At the time, I think we knew nobody was going to top that, and they haven't. So instead of getting angry with anything that's not them, why not just, I don't know, check out what's going on now. If you don't like it, that's fine. But to get angry at it, I think is weird. I'm repeating myself. I apologize. Let's see. Weeknd is from Toronto, Canada. I didn't know that. I knew that Drake was from Toronto, or I think he is. I didn't realize Weeknd was too. I know Weeknd lives or did live or has a place in New York because my friend Jeffrey Kwan at Canal Sound and Light was telling me, I think it was last year, as a matter of fact. I was told the story at NAMM. Jeffrey set up some speakers for Weeknd's New Year's Eve party. He brought a set of Maui 5 Go's in this big warehouse where there were some power issues where he was having a party. And Weeknd came in the room and said, wow, these speakers really sound fantastic. And Jeffrey said, if you think these sound good, you got to check out these other speakers. I think they're the 900s or 9000s or something, like $5,000 a piece. They're really pretty speakers. If you think these sound good, you got to check out these $5,000, or didn't even say the price, whatever they were. Let's call them the 3000s. You got to check out the 3000s. They sound much better. And Weeknd said, yeah, sure, bring 2 over. I'll buy them. Didn't even ask the price. That's the only reason I know that, because that was kind of a cool story. Let's see. What do we got here? I'm just going to glance through a couple comments here. It's like people are asking for Taylor Swift. I miss going to concerts and seeing movies, just being around people. Yeah, I think we all do. And, you know, like somebody mentioned earlier, I think people are just angry right now in general. And I think it's true. And I think part of that is that we've just been prevented from doing the things that we love to do. You know, that sucks. I want to get out too. And right now, I don't know what it's like where you live, but right now it's like 0 outside. So I don't even have the option of going outside without it being painful. You know, it would take me 20 minutes to warm up my car where it was comfortable enough to drive anywhere. So it's kind of like a double suck thing for me right now. I don't even have the weather to go outside. So yeah, I think we're all a little on edge right now, and some people are choosing to ignore there's a problem, which is weird, but whatever. And then there are others who are really trying their best to behave themselves and do the right thing. But on the flip side of that, that means that you are pretty much sitting in your house all the time, unless you're going to the grocery store or, you know, going to work or something. You're just sitting inside. So it just kind of sucks right now. Brian, are you familiar with JTR on YouTube? I really love his channel and passion for music. I think you guys have some other vibes. I don't know them. I really don't know many other YouTubers. I just kind of do my thing. Worst halftime show ever. Those. Yeah, let's see. This is the thing. Again, and for those of you just coming in, musicianship is something I love. I love bands, but I really also do appreciate just art. And to me, this was art. And considering the circumstances with everything, I think that he did the best that he could. And I'm not angry at it. It's not my favorite halftime show ever, but I'm not angry about it. I just want to make that clear. I'm not mad at it. If you're mad at it, maybe you ought to check yourself. Okay? You didn't pay a dime for this. All right? Your team probably wasn't even playing. So settle down, man. There's a lot of other stuff out there we can be angry with, besides some artistic performance from a relevant contemporary pop artist who doesn't even have a backing band. But anyway, so I do this live stream, let you guys get some of that stuff out of your system, kind of let you know how I feel about it. I don't know. I'm going to be 50 this year, but having said that, I'm still open to new, and I'm willing to suspend disbelief on certain things. If something isn't perfect, I'm okay with that. I'm just kind of trying to enjoy the experience, because I'm not done yet. I'm not ready to just say, you know what, I'm going to dismiss anything that happens from here on out and only focus on everything that happened before the millennium. I'm not that guy. I enjoy new stuff, especially when a real effort was put forward, and I think it was in this case. But that's me. You're entitled to your own opinion. I'm going to end the stream now, so thanks for watching. I'm enjoying the stream. If you like the stream, let me know in the comment section. I think this is an interesting way to do some videos. I just started doing this the other day. I did a test. I did one on like cars or something, and I'm trying this. Looks like attendance is pretty good. I really appreciate your likes, and I see some people have liked the video. It does help a lot when you do that. Helps my family out. Your subscriptions, if you're not subscribed to the channel, that would help a lot. I guess there's a bell you can ring that notifies you when I put a video up. But what I will promise you is that I'm not going to hustle you for dough. Okay? I ask for those things, but I'm not going to put any Patreon crap on here. All right? I'll never ask for money from you. I'll take all day from the big companies, but I won't take from you, because I know how it is. I'm only here to help, and maybe throw an opinion out there once in a while for what it's worth. It's my opinion. That's all it is. It's not gospel, so don't worry if you don't agree with me on anything. We're still friends. In fact, most of the people who I surround myself with don't think just like I do. If I surrounded myself with people who thought just like I did, life would be pretty boring. So anyway, thank you so much. I really appreciate you tuning in. I had fun with it. I hope you did too. We'll see you next time. Practice and enjoy.